welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me on a coffee and cards day today. Well, it's a little bit hot here in the little greenhouse, so no coffee for me today, just a glass of Coke, and hopefully I can keep nice and cool. So this morning we are going to create a card using this wonderful little Turtle Friends stamp set. It comes with a matching punch, and you get this beautiful little turtle punched out and two little circles for his eyes, should you wish to use them. Okay, he is, as soon as I saw him in the annual catalogue, I knew he had to join my group of stamps. So this is the kind of card we're going to create this morning. It's going to be slightly different, but the same. Bear with me and I'll explain as we go along. So this is it. Here's a little turtle here. He's been punched out with the punch I've just shown you. He's got a little hat and it says it's time to celebrate, and it says happy birthday, and then we've got this lovely little fringe here in Coastal Cabana and Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so let's get our supplies and we can begin. So the first thing I've got is a cardstock base of Melon Mumbo. As usual, it is 8 by 5 3/4, scored at the 4-inch mark, and I shall burnish it, with my bone folder. Lovely. Then I have a layering piece of Coastal Cabana, which is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, and then I have two pieces of the basic white, which measure 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. One is for the outside and one is for the inside, like so. And then I have a piece of scrap card and my embossing folder for the brick wall. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just to create the inside layer. So I'm going to bring in a very cute, very tiny little turtle. Okay, so he's here and I'm going to stamp him down the bottom, and I'm going to stamp him initially in a basic grey. So I'm going to tap, tap, tap him on there. And those of you that will have seen the videos this week will know that this little grey ink spot that I'm using has come from a card kit that I used on Wednesday. Okay, so let's pop him down there. Isn't he cute? So he just needs a very tiny little shell infill, which I've got here, and I'm going to infill him in Coastal Cabana, as these are the colours we should be using today. So just tap him gently on my ink, and then I'm going to hover over there, and I'm just going to pop him inside. Look at that, and he's got a lovely colourful little shell. So the only thing I need to do now is I'm going to put a happy birthday sentiment in the middle there, and I'm going to use my gorgeous grape on this occasion. So stamp that, just check it down here to make sure I'm happy with it, which I am. There we go. Straighten my card up, and then we can pop it into the middle. Perfect. And then I can add this to the inside of my card base. So let's open that up, bring in my stamp and seal, and I'm just going to run it at the top and at the base of my card. Try that again. There we go. Almost out of this. Yeah, just about got enough there, and I'm going to add that just like so. Wonderful. So that's the inside. Now we can focus on the outside, and as usual we're going to focus on the white card base, which, as I said, measures 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. Now the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my embossing folder. Now it's important that we pay attention that our Stampin' Up logo is facing up when we run our cardstock through, because we won't get the imprint of what we'll do will come through the wrong way. So what I'm going to do is I am going to work out roughly where, just over halfway on my piece of cardstock is, I'm going to bring the top over like so, and then I'm going to run this through my embossing machine. Reason being is I want this area to be plain and this area just to be embossed. So once you've run it through, it should come out looking like this. So as you can see, it's plain up here and brick wall down the bottom. Then I can bring in my streamers that come with the set. And I'm just going to sprinkle a few of these on the top part only. Now if it does come over onto the bricks, as long as we don't go too far down, it shouldn't cause me a problem. So 1, 2, and then probably, let's have a look, 3. There we go. So I'm just going to have the streamers in the air on this particular card. So I can now leave those aside and bring in my scrap so I can stamp out my big turtle. So here he is. Again, I'm going to use the basic grey. I'm just going to work round with the little ink spot. I figured I've got it, I might as well use it until it runs out. Now the advantage of ink spots is you can refill them the same way as you can refill a normal ink pad. So do not throw it away once it's finished. Okay, so my little turtle can go on there. And there he is, look at him, all ready to go. Then I have got my, now this time I'm going to use the infill of his shell rather than a sentiment, and I'm going to again use the Coastal Cabana. I'm just going to stamp that onto there. Happy with that. And then I'm going to hover over and push down. And there he is, my little turtle, all happy and raring to go. Now before I cut him out, I'm just going to do a quick colouring in. So I don't need those two, I just need these for the moment. And I've got the pale papaya. So I've got the dark version and the light version. So I'm going to use this dark version to colour in his little tail and his toenails here. And then the rest of him I'm going to colour in with the light papaya. I'm just going to bring round. And so the contrast isn't too bad. I'm going to go over his foot from where I've already coloured in. There we go. Lovely. And I'm going to bring round here. He looks such a happy little chappy, doesn't he? There we go. All the way around, his little eye. There. And there is our little turtle. So I'm just going to pop him inside my punch and punch him out. So there he is. Come on, little turtle. Punched him out. And then the only other thing I need to do now is to make him a party hat. So again, in the basic grey, I am going to pop his little party hat down here, colour it in. This is where these two come involved. So I've got the light Highland Heather in the blend pen, as I don't have it in the Gorgeous Grape. But of course, if you wanted to use the Gorgeous Grape, there's nothing to stop you using the right Stampin' Right markers, because they would work just as adequately well. Now I've got the dark Melon Mambo, and that's going to create his little pom-pom for his party hat. Perfect. And just a tiny piece of fussy cutting. 1, 2. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work around it very carefully, leaving a tiny slither of white showing around the edge, moving the cardstock as normal, so this will give the picture a much smoother edge. It just looks better that way. So moving the paper, and then it just makes it less jaggedy, as I say. Should you need to do a bit more, then you can always get a bit closer should you need to. Right, I think I'm almost there. Excellent. Now that's the kind of fussy cutting I don't actually mind doing. It's just so small. There we go. There. And there. Now the only thing I forgot to show you was 3 pieces of coloured card that I'm going to use. So I've got the Melon Mumbo, which measures 4 inches long, and it is 1 1/4 inch deep. I've then got Coastal Cabana, again measuring 4 inches long, but 1 inch deep. And last but by no means least, the basic white, measuring 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to turn it over like that, and I'm going to take my tear and tape, and I'm just going to run it down the middle of my piece of card stock. Okay, and then just clip it. Now I'm going to add my sentiment in the middle. Now this sentiment is actually says, happy belated birthday, sorry I was so slow. I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape, and I'm just going to tap it on there, make sure I'm happy with it. Try it again. Oh, that was a little bit smudged. Ah, that's better. More haste and less speed as usual. Let's put that there, and then float it into the middle and push down. There we go. Happy belated birthday. Right, I'm just going to pop that aside with our turtle for now, and then I'm going to bring in these 2 pieces. And again with these 2, I'm actually going to turn the backs over, and I'm going to run a piece of tear and tape at the top of both of these. So let's do it on the Coastal Cabana. Stuck it all down, cut it off. There we go, so that's 1. And then I'm going to do exactly the same as I said with the Melon Mumbo. And then I'm going to turn that off. Right, what I'm going to do, cutting it backwards, I'm going to create a fringe all the way along here. So if I go over the tear and tape, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to create a fringe with this. Now you can make your fringe as big or as small as you wish it to be. I am quite happy just going all the way up to my tear and tape, not going over. The fringe is coming through quite nicely. Now if I cut it on the reverse, you will find that the fringe will start to curl under, which is what I want, because I want the curl to come up on the other side. So let's just keep going. You know, I ummed and ahed whether I should do a Blue Peter moment with this, and thought, no, it won't take that long. And now it just feels like it's taking forever, so I do apologise. Now, you could start with doing it quite thick, and then making smaller pieces should you wish to. So there's the first piece. What I'll do is I'm going to take this strip off. Just realised I've left a pad open, so just want to close that. Where's my pointy tool gone? Come on. I know you're here. I only used you 2 minutes ago. Oh, there it is. Look, back where it belongs. How funny is that? Okay, so we tear off the strip, and then I'm going to butt this edge up against this edge up here. Okay, so I'm going to make it as straight along that edge as humanly possible. There we all the way across like so. Now we've got this little fringe here, as you can see. That works quite well. Now we're going to do exactly the same with the melon mumbo. Again, cutting the reverse. I'm just going to go all the way. So as you can see, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't go, the lines, all the way up to the tear and tape. As long as there's enough of the fringe to show underneath from the Coastal Cabana, like the Coastal Cabana has shown underneath on the white. Right, almost there. So I hope everybody's been enjoying this wonderful weather we've had. I believe that not very soon, no, let's try that again. I believe very soon we shall be having some thunderstorms, which pleases my husband because he likes to watch them. However, I much prefer the sunshine. Okay, so I'm now going to take the strip from the bottom, the top of the Coastal Cabana. Now I can't take credit for this little fringe idea. I saw it on a Pinterest post and thought, wow, that's a brilliant idea. I must remember that. And when I went back to find out the lady that had created it, I could not find her. So I do apologise. There is a very talented lady somewhere on Pinterest who has taken a Stampin' Up! Stamp set and created a fringe to go with it. So I do apologise. But if you're like me and you find things you're not 100% sure you want to do or have ideas, Pinterest is a wonderful find for creating things. So there we go. There is our sentiment, all perfectly placed. Now, because this is 4 inches and this is 3 1/4, obviously we're going to have edges peeking over the top, which is fine because I wanted it to be quite a straight edge. So I'm going to take off the strap here, and then I am going to layer that along the top of my brick wall. Okay, so there. Make sure it's as straight as I can possibly get it. There we go. It's all across my brick wall. There we've got this little lovely fringe. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to use my bigger scissors to cut the edges off. So I'm going to go all the way up to the edge like so, and then I'm just going to firmly snap it down. There we go. So there's one, and then I'm going to do exactly the same on this side and go up and then just snip it off. There. So now we have our card with our fringe. This can now be layered onto our Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to attach that with my liquid glue. Turn that over. Perfect. I'm going to jiggle that around like so, making sure I'm happy with where it is. Yep, there we are. Lovely. And then that can be attached to our card base, again using the liquid glue. Perfect. So the only thing to do then is to add our delightful little turtle when everything is in place. There. Isn't he lovely? Or is that lovely? Right, come on little turtle, it's your turn now. I'm going to use my dimensionals, which are here. My pointer tool. I'm going to have one on his head. So I'm using the big ones here. One down here and one down here, and then one at the top of his shell. Now I haven't put any on his feet, and the reason I've not done that is so that he can almost sit or stand on the line here. Okay, so let's take that off. 1, 2, 3, and 1 makes 4. And then I just need to decide where he's going to be. If he's going to be slow, maybe he needs to be at this end, because he hasn't quite reached it. There we go. Okay, and then I've just got to put his little hat on. And again, I'm going to use dimensionals, but this time I'm going to use the mini dimensionals. I'm going to put one full mini dimensional on the hat base, and then I'm going to cut, I've already done it diagonally across, so that I've got half a mini dimensional, and then he can go on the little bauble at the top of the hat. There we go. Right, so we can take the backings off. Oh, for goodness sake. 1 and 1 makes 2. There we go. And then I'm going to put his little hat on just back here. And there we are. There we have it. Our beautiful little happy belated birthday. Sorry I was so slow. Whoops. I hope you liked that. So here is our happy birthday. Time to celebrate. And it almost makes you like a Sean Connery, doesn't it? Celebrate. And then our, sorry, I'm so slow, belated card. So I hope you like those. They are great fun to create. Please have a go. If you do, don't forget to tag me. I'd love to see what you've created. It'd be wonderful to see it. Thank you for joining me today. I'm back again tomorrow with a Funky Fold Friday. It's got a slight difference, so do join, and I hope you like that. Whatever you do for the rest of the day, stay safe and lots of love. Thanks very much. Bye.